What's going on, everybody? It's your boy C-Zar, and we are talking about XLM, Stellar Lumens today. Hit that like button, you guys. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this, and let's get into it, my friends. It is the 11th day of August, but not for long. We got about 6 minutes left in the day here, coming to an end, down 3%, looking like we're correcting a little bit. That's okay, right? You had a nice move up. I think it's clear who's in charge, right? If you look at the relative price action, the bulls are clearly in charge. The bears putting up a fight, but not enough. Not enough to keep the bulls down, man. I mean, maybe we push the price down a little bit more, but soon enough you'll be rallying, ripping and running. It's been kind of common throughout the space. Not recently. I mean, recently too, but over the past 8 months or so, I've seen a lot of these bull flags that break out and then they form other bull flags and then they break out of there. So it's kind of funny. It's like a foreshadowing of the good things to come. I feel like we are forming a bull flag here, but let's look at the short-term stuff and then we'll come back out to this. All right, 1 hour time frame here. Let me look at Bitcoin too real quick. We're at a point where we could bounce. I wouldn't be surprised if we did. The new day is about to start too. We probably bounce and then we come back down. That's my opinion. I'll make a video on Bitcoin soon enough, though. We'll get to that. XLM. Oh, but if we bounce, should I go long here? I don't know, man. It's not the time. It's not the time should have been down here. I was gonna pull the trigger, but I didn't. I was hesitant, and scared money don't make no money. So I'm just gonna wait for a better opportunity. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor, but if you are trading, which you shouldn't be, leverage trading is for degenerate rerees. But if you are one of those, wait for setups. Don't try and chase them. Just wait for them. You'll find so much more success. You don't have to be in a trade every single second of every single day. One trade a day. One trade a week even. If it's the right setup, wait for it. Wait until it's obvious and even more obvious than obvious. Just wait for it, okay? Like right here, I'm expecting Stellar Lumens goes down, but would I short sell here? Hell no. This would have been the area to go for it, That would have been it right there, but you didn't, because you had a little, hold on. Oh, there we go. You had a little bit of turbulence here. You should have broken out, but you didn't. You had the wicks, the fake outs, and then you came down. That should have been it, right? That should have been an obvious signal there. Anyways, but no, even though I'm expecting that the price goes lower, I would not short here. Not financial advice, not a financial advisor. Looking at this here, finding support at these 2 points right now, you're finding support just above it, and that is a partial decline. That is bullish to some effect, but I wouldn't be surprised if we came down to this trend line, broke just below it, and then that's where we found support and then continued to move up. Just like with this trend line coming down from a high point here to a high point there, where did we find resistance? It wasn't right at the trend line. No, it was above the trend line that we found resistance. So just below it, just above it. What is... Instead of the diagonal lines, let's look at the lines that actually matter, which are the horizontal ones. What is the area just below this here that would make sense to find support? Well, there's a 1 hour closing basis there. There's some wicking resistance here as well. So something between about 42 cents and 41.7 cents, I think, sounds about right. You're at 43 cents now. So nothing crazy. Nothing too crazy, my friends. Let's see. Let's look at this on, or without all this scribble scratch. 1 hour time frame here. RSI is getting oversold. Maybe a short-term bounce, right? You've got these lower lows and lower highs coming in, and that's nice, but you might get a little short-term bounce here and then come back down, get some bullish divergence, and then rally, get a higher low setup in the RSI with a lower low setup in the price, so a little bit lower. 43 cents right now. I don't know about you guys, but 41 to 42 cents, that's a little bit lower, at least in my opinion. MACD crossing below the zero here, bearish, right? Looking bearish there. And the stochastics are bearish as well. So all of those suggesting continuation to the downside. Little reversal here on the 1 hour. You had two bullish candles in a row. Should have gone up higher, but you didn't. Maybe you don't bounce here. Maybe you do just continue to drop. But at this point in time, if you were to bounce from here and then go lower, I would anticipate prices anywhere from about 44 cents to 44.8 cents. Again, if you move all the way up to like 45 cents, you're still likely going to go below this low. Okay, you haven't done anything but prove another lower high. Nothing crazy, nothing too intense. If we're looking at this here on a 4 hour time frame now, the 4 hour time frame. Oh, I do have chargers. I've got like 3 chargers. I just need to keep one here. That's what it is, man. I need to get multiple chargers because I'm tired of choosing which one to charge, my computer or my phone / camera, right? 4 hour time frame here. The RSI actually does make me think we go lower. It's kind of perplexing, I suppose, because you're in an area where you've bounced before. Right here you bounced. Here you could be set up to bounce as well. And even if you bounce, that doesn't mean you can't go lower, right? You've got the lower lows, lower highs set up right here. Overall, though, if we're looking at this, you are in a very bullish setup, getting overbought, not getting oversold. You had higher lows here, you had higher highs here, you had a nice little trend up, you've broken out of that, so that does make me think you go a little bit lower. But you're in an area that you found support at before. Even back here, you found support in this exact zone a couple times, but still, that was more of a downtrend here. You do kind of have a downtrend right now, but it's very narrow. We'll see. We'll see. I wouldn't be surprised if we had a short-term bounce here, but ultimately, you know, today's Monday. Tomorrow, well, soon enough, it'll be Tuesday. In like a minute, it'll be Tuesday. I wouldn't be surprised if Tuesday was bearish, if we came down a little bit lower. I really wouldn't be surprised. I think it'd be a productive look if Stellar could, on its 4-hour time frame, stay out of the oversold zone. Okay, and I'm using the 10. My RSI set to a 10, in case anybody's curious. Is 10 better? Does he know something we don't know? No, it's, I mean, maybe, and I don't know. I like it. If you like the 14, which is the standard, or a 12, whatever, maybe 8 is better. Maybe 20 is better. You know, there are, even long-term RSIs can be useful, but a long-term RSI, when I say long-term, I mean like 50, 120, you know, stuff like that. Those are different than the short-term ones. Like, they literally are just different. Yeah, it's like a whole different set of rules. I wonder, let's actually look at the long-term. I haven't looked at the long-term in a long time, man. That used to be the bread and butter whenever I started this channel. It was just the short-term and the long-term RSI. I should pull that back, honestly, because it's a nice way to look at things. Overall, you're in a bullish posturing, right? Above the 50s bullish, below the 50s bearish. 123, I choose 123 because, for one, it's very serendipitous. 1, 2, 3, go ahead, you know. It's a very nice serendipitous number. But 2, it's also that kind of perfect number. There is no perfect number for it. No even decimal or a whole number where you're at a third of a year, but it's basically a third of a year, you know. 365 divided by 3, what would that be? That'd be like 122. So it's a little bit more. It's a little bit more than that, but with that serendipity to it as well, right? 123 days is a third of a year, essentially. 120 days, 123, somewhere in that range. It's a third of a year. You can apply that to the 4-hour and the 1-hour time frames as well. I think that you get, what would 123 be? I think on an hourly time frame, that's like about a week, 5 days, right? It's like a 5-day period. I don't know. It's a nice long-term derivative, but 4-hour, on the 4-hour, it does look bullish overall, which of course it does, as long as you're above the 50, and I think that you will be. Let's look at the daily while we've got this. I want to end this video soon, but yeah, overall bullish, right? Typically, if you're in an uptrend, the best times to buy are when you're below the 50, okay? When you're in a downtrend, the best times to sell are at the 50 or above the 50, okay? And what defines an uptrend or a downtrend? Well, it's not this RSI that does it, but it just helps identify buying points, right? Like here would have been a clear buying area, would have been a very good buying area here. You're getting towards some kind of buying zone. It wouldn't have called this low. It doesn't call every single low. Here, buying opportunity. Here, buying opportunity. Here, that whole time, buying opportunity, right? You see? Right? And it doesn't depict, it's not that it'll depict every buying zone. It's just, you know, this, when you have this right setup going on, it can actually help. Can help doesn't mean it will help. Not everything is 100% reliable, right? So to take that with a grain of salt. Don't think that you've got something special just because you're pulling up the 123. Although I think it is special. I think too many people use RSI in a short term. We don't look at it in the long term perspective, and I think there's still something to be gained from that, honestly. Like I literally used to have a short term RSI, and like I have the stochastics here, I would have a long term RSI pulled up right next to it. I think in combination, they can really help determine, and of course the long term is better for long term perspectives, but I digress. All I'm trying to say, guys, we're at 43 cents now. It's a brand new day. We actually just started a new day. 23 hours, 57 minutes left. It's the 12th as of now on the charts. We probably go down to about 41 to 42 cents. Maybe first we move up to about 44, 45 cents, and then we come down. But I would expect that today, Tuesday, is red. The MACD building some bearish momentum here. Oh, wow. Yeah, it is. Stochastics rejecting the overbought zone. Daily time frame. Yeah, the daily time frame does look bearish. So let's run with this, see if we can get some confirmation on the targets that I've given, and then we'll wrap this up. 41.5 cents. I like that. I like 40. I was saying 42 to 41. 41.5 cents. That's where you're going to go. Oh, and it's so perfect. Do you guys see the pattern? Let's look at this with Something that has volume. Let's see. I want a nice decline in volume. Oh, let's see. Let's look at the 4 hour. It could be better, but I'm not going to hold it against you. It looks like a pretty perfect pattern. You guys see it? It's an inverse head and shoulders pattern. If we move down to 41.5 cents, we hold that area right there as support. It would actually be a pretty good pattern. Kind of a shallow drop, but nonetheless, I think it stands. It could be an inverse head and shoulders, and that should allow you to go up. So I don't think that we get above these highs, in other words, right? I think that you found your high. I don't think you get above it, but you're probably going to hold support at that 41.5 cent area, and then from there continue to rally. When you do rally, Stellar Lumens, we are going to see prices that are, I think, at a minimum, $1.50. But at a maximum, something that's probably above $2. And I really think, at a maximum, maybe like 270, but I'm thinking we'll go somewhere between about 220 to 250, somewhere in that zone, likely by the end of September. And of course, by the end of the cycle, higher prices than that. I think Stellar, we're at 43 cents now. I wouldn't be surprised if Stellar is worth $10, $20, and something like that probably by the end of the cycle. Yeah, could it be higher? Sure, but I don't want to get too specific. Let's see, high to low. Let's just see. I really do. I think $20 is a good maximum, even just below there or just above there, but I don't think that you get too much higher than there. $10 is a good minimum. I got nothing else, guys. Hit the like button, subscribe, and that's end of cycle stuff, right? The 150 to 240, that's like what's next, probably by the end of September. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.